Zettel für die lange Weg. 2 Flaschen Whisky für die Zeit. Und ich den gern habe, du bist dabei. Maria geht, fahrt mal weg, ist weit. Wann ich geh, ich werd dir fehlen, wann ich geh. Du sehst nicht, was ich mach, du sehst nicht, wie ich lach. Ich werd dir fehlen, du watsch sehen. Hab kriegt mein Zettel für den langen Weg. Du schönste, als wir finden kann. Es hat Maria und Dale ganz wunderbar. Hass ich dir den weißen Dank. Wann ich geh, ich werd dir fehlen, wann ich geh. Du sehst nicht, was ich mach, du sehst nicht, wie ich lach. Ich werd dir fehlen, du watch sehen. Well. Gute Abend, liebe Lion. Good evening, dear people, and welcome back to another episode of PA Dutch Live. It is the July edition. Oh my gosh, the year is now more than halfway around, as we'd say. Where does the time go? And boy, do we got a great show coming up for you tonight. There's a little bit of hiccups going on, but I think we're going to be okay. Fingers crossed. I'll explain more a little later here. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, as we say in Pennsylvania Dutch, welcome to the show. If this is your 34th time joining us, welcome. It's always great to have you guys back. If you're joining us on Facebook or on the YouTube channel or over on X, wherever you are joining us, please put in the comment section where you're joining us from so I can give you guys some shout outs. There's already a bunch of people that have put comments in, so I want to throw some shout outs right off the bat. Aaron Carmany, not sure. Can't wait to see you, Doctor Schcrapple. Well, I'll tell you, I can't wait to see Doctor Schcrapple either. There's more coming. Don't worry, boys and girls. Kyle Holdsworth says, excited to see Doctor Schcrapple. Boy, I'm telling you, everybody and their brother wants to see this guest tonight. This is great. Our good friend Mo joins us every month from Virginia. Ich wohne in Midlothian. That's down there in Virginia. He says it was great to hang out with you and Chris at the Kutztown Folk Fest. It was great seeing you, Mo, as well. I really enjoyed that time. Randy says, hey, y'all, originally from New Berlinville, Berks County, but now in New Berlin, Texas. He joins us almost every month. Randy, good to have you again. Our good friend stayed up across the ocean. It's after midnight over there in Deutschland in Germany. Norman, our good friend, says, Gute Maria aus Steinbach am Glan im Alderland. That's right. He's joining us from Steinbach am Glan in the old country. Norman, our good friend. Dolly joins us every month as well. Hello from Fleetwood in beautiful Berks County. I ran into Dolly at the Folk Festival. That was really nice to see her. My distant cousin Carol joining us as she does every month. Good evening from beautiful downtown Hayes und Schmodig, Burnville, Berks County. Hayes and Schmodig, if you're not sure, that's hot and humid. And Carol, it's Hayes and Schmodig up here in Center County too. Man, it's been a rough couple days, hasn't it? Bill aus Dillsburg says, Gute Obert aus Dillsburg in Yarrick County, York County, well represented. Good to have you with us again, Bill. Our good friend David, greetings from McCunchy in Lehigh County. I saw you at the Folk Festival as well. It's good to see you, my friend. Always great to run into old friends there at the Folk Festival. And Holly Lawton, evening, Doug. Hope you're well. It's great to see all the exciting events at Kutztown. Holly's joining us from England, where I'm sure everybody is still pretty hopped up celebrating. I watched your boys beat the Dutch national team today in the Euros earlier today, and I'm sure that everybody is enjoying a pint or more in England this evening. BioT joins us every month. Hi, Todd in Tucson saying hi all. Our good friend Rachel, I ran into her 3 days in a row at the Kutztown Folk Festival. This Besser family is here from Berks County. I'm telling you, Rachel's son, Jacob, I got to get a video of him playing a Pennsylvania Dutch song because that boy can play a banjo. Let me just say that. You have to see this. You have to see it. But Rachel, get me a video of him playing a Pennsylvania Dutch song, and we'll feature that as our music for whatever month coming up. Please, I'm serious about that. You hear me, Jacob? Get on that, dear friends. All right, as is usually the case here at the beginning of every episode, I'd like to give some people, give some updates on what's going on in the greater Pennsylvania Dutch world. If you weren't familiar, apparently there's people joining the live stream that are. Our guest tonight is Doctor Schcrapple, and he's waiting in the green room, the digital green room. We'll get to him really quickly. We don't have too many things for your calendars this month, but some things for sure. Coming up the first weekend, I think it's the first full weekend, the 9th and 10th. No, it'd be the second weekend in August. The 9th and 10th, Friday and Saturday, is the famous 56th annual Goshenhoppen Historians Folk Festival at the Henriettas Plantation in Perkiomenville, which is down in Montgomery County. A wonderful event to learn about the Pennsylvania Dutch food, crafts, and old way of life. Everything there is done in period costume. If you have a chance, check it out. Of course, you can find out more information about their festival on their website, and also they are very active on social media, Facebook and Instagram as well. But that is one you want to check out if you've never been before. Put it on your list of things to do. Also, if you're that same weekend, I will be at the where will I be? At the Exeter Community Library. That's it. In beautiful Exeter Township, Berks County, just outside of Reading there. I will be doing a talk that I give at a lot of different places, essentially a basic overview about the Pennsylvania Dutch language, culture, and history to somebody that doesn't really know anything about it. But it's anyone, you could be fluent in Pennsylvania Dutch. I'd still love to have you. It's a free talk starting at 1 p.m. I'll be posting this information on my social media feeds. Love to see you guys there if you're in the greater Reading area for that presentation. I've been mentioning a bunch of times, we just came off of the 74th annual Kutztown Folk Festival, just finished up a couple days ago. It was a great run. I was there the 1st, the 2nd, and 3rd of July. Chris and I had multiple music gigs and performances. We had a great time. The weather was really not folk fest like. It wasn't too hot and humid. I know it got that way towards the end of the festival, but the 3 days that I was there, the crowds were good. People were really enjoying themselves. Next year will be the big one. The 75th annual will be next year. I don't have the dates off the top of my head, but it's always this same time frame, those first couple days of July over the 4th, that 9-day run. I'll get that information to you as soon as I have it, everybody. Also, and I've been bragging this up, of course, because we've had these people on our show before, but the Freeze Rebellion movie is finished, and it's going to be coming out with a world premiere on Sunday, August 25th in Bethlehem. And there are still tickets available if you want to go to the premiere. Check it out. You can get on the Lower Macungie Township Historical Society's website, also on their Facebook page. There's also a Facebook page specifically for the Freeze Rebellion film. And you can look that up, freezemovie.com. That's F-R-I-E-S. I've seen the trailer. Maybe many of you have as well. It looks really, really good. I can't wait to see it myself. Every month we give a shout out, a hee-haw style salute to some town in the Pennsylvania Dutch area, region. And this month I'm going north of the Blue Mountains into what is referred to as the Skook or Schuylkill County. And we're going to give a salute to Orwicksburg, right off of Route 61 there, north of the Blue Mountains in beautiful coal cracker country, Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. Schuylkill County has this great mix of Eastern European descendants from the miners, the coal miners, but there were a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch in Schuylkill County, particularly just north of the Blue Mountains and over in the areas around Pine Grove and what's known as the Tri-Valley area. Lots of Pennsylvania Dutch people there. I think it always gets kind of counted out, but there's a lot of good Pennsylvania Dutch descendants and people up there in Schuylkill County. So shout out to Orwicksburg, founded 1823, and a current population, at least the current I could find, 2,995. So the next time you're going north on 61, you can fly right through it before you get to right around the Deer Lake area there. You blink and you're through Orwicksburg, but give a salute the next time you're passing through that region. Well, everybody's excited, so we might as well. We got to get to this. My guest this month is Doctor Schcrapple. We'll learn all about Doctor Schcrapple here by bringing Doctor Schcrapple into the live stream. But there he is. Hello, Doctor Schcrapple.
Well, hello there, Douglas. How you doing, Booba?
Why, I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty darn good. But Dr. Schcrapple, where the heck are you?
Well, I'm down the street here at the old Lincoln Park Fire Company. You know, we had a little bit of wind going on, and I think something happened to my electricity and all my Wi-Fi's and stuff like that. So I'm down here borrowing theirs for now.
So the fire company's bailing you out, I guess.
Well, you know, Berks County, the fire companies are very important social gathering centers here.
You got that right. Now, for the people that are joining us, we got to do a proper introduction. Everybody, this is Dr. C.T.C. Schcrapple joining us.
Pleased to meet me, aren't you?
Yeah, I of course I am. But I guess let me ask you right off the bat. Now, I know you had some electricity issues and things like that, but how are you doing, Dr. Schcrapple?
Oh, we're doing pretty good over here. We're doing pretty good. Why? What'd you hear?
No, I didn't hear anything yet.
Okay.
But I'll keep my ears open. But I got to ask you another thing. You always I've seen this a bunch of times now, but I don't know the answer to this. Your name is CTC
Yeah.
Scrapple. So what does the CTC stand for?
Well, it's a pretty famous name, isn't it? Pretty obvious. CTC, John Jacob Chingleheimer.
John Jacob Chingleheimer.
John Jacob Chingleheimer, Scrapple, yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah, if you wrote that out, it's probably smarter to go by just the initials because that would be a pretty darn long line, huh? Okay.
It looks easier that way on the business card.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, I also have to comment. I mean, your appearance. You got the traditional bowler hat on, the derby. You got your glasses on. But what's that around your neck, Dr. Schcrapple?
Well, it's a stethoscope, Douglas. Ain't you ever been to a doctor before?
Well, yeah, I have. No, well, I saw that, but no, the other thing around your neck. What's that?
Oh, you mean my backup sausages?
Backup sausages.
Yeah, these are my backup sausages.
Have you been in situations in the past where you've needed backup sausages?
Oh no, you don't want to eat these. These sausages are months old. They're all rotten and disgusting. You don't want to eat these. This is what I use to get people to back up.
Why would you want people to back up?
Well, when they stand too close, they smell the sausages and they don't want to get that close.
You like that personal bubble, that space, huh?
It gives me a little bit of breathing room.
Oh, okay. So, okay, all right. I'm learning. Boy, I'm learning a lot of things. But I gotta ask you. Okay. Got your name. Got this whole outfit. This is your appearance. But so you're a Pennsylvania Dutch doctor.
Yes, I am, but not on purpose.
What? Not. What do you mean? Not Dutch on purpose? Or
well, of course I'm Pennsylvania Dutch on purpose. I mean, I'm not a doctor on purpose. That wasn't my goal from the beginning.
But but you ended up being a doctor. How'd that happen if it wasn't your original goal?
I guess I just spent so much time in academia that they felt bad enough for me. They figured they better make me a doctor so I could make enough money to one day pay back my student loans.
Oh my gosh. So you got booted out, but they gave you a degree to get you booted out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they didn't want me there no more.
Oh, they didn't want you there no more.
Yeah, so they gave me the doctorate and said, good luck and goodbye.
Get on, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
But I'm not that good of a doctor. I don't really have the patience.
Oh, you don't really have the patience. Gotcha. So what kind of doctor are you? Because I know there's tons of doctors out there. Like what do you have a specialty or something like that?
Well, sure. I have my doctorate in large animal proctology, as a matter of fact.
Large animal proctology.
Indeed. Yep. I got that from old Kutztown University, and there was plenty of subjects around the area to study.
Kutztown University has a degree, or did they make this up just to get you on in large animal proctology?
They made that one up just for me. You're going to have to ask Patrick Dunmore about that.
I wonder if you're the only person to ever graduate from Kutztown University with that degree.
I hope so.
How often do you make house calls?
More like barn calls. We make barn calls, farm calls, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Are you in great demand, doctor?
Well, I'm pretty popular with the horses and the cows. That's for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. I also read that you're a Pennsylvania Dutch playwright too. Is that true?
I am a Pennsylvania Dutch playwright, and as a matter of fact, I also studied with the greatest Pennsylvania Dutch playwright of them all.
The greatest Pennsylvania Dutch playwright of them all?
Oh, absolutely.
Who are you referring to?
Well, William Shakespeare, of course.
You're not Dr. Schcrapple. Come on now. First off, William Shakespeare lived a long time ago, and secondly, he's English, or he was English. He wasn't Pennsylvania Dutch.
Oh, come on now. He's just about as Pennsylvania Dutch as they come. You got to listen to what he said and how he said it.
Please explain that to me more.
All right. Well, if you had to right now caricaturize the way that we speak, our tone, our cadence, the Pennsylvania Dutch, if you had to kind of make a cartoon out of it, just out of the sounds, how would you do that?
Well, I think that we Pennsylvania Dutch, whether we're speaking Pennsylvania Dutch or even when we speak English, I think, Chris and I often talk about this. We have what we describe as kind of like a sing-songy way of talking. We don't just we're never monotone. The Pennsylvania Dutch, at least none of my Pennsylvania Dutch friends are very blah blah blah. We're more like ba 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 ba. That's just the way our voices go, I guess. But okay, and
that's iambic pentameter. Please talk exactly the way that he wrote in verse.
So like his sonnets and all that stuff and his plays written in iambic pentameter. So you're not arguing, you're saying that Shakespeare had to be Pennsylvania Dutch just because of that fact alone.
Well, listen to how it sounds. In faith I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they and thee 1,000 errors note. Not only does that sound Dutchy, but that's like a backwards Pennsylvania Dutch compliment too. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who in despite of you is pleased to dote. Yeah, we're usually pretty pleased to dote, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now that you make me think about it, sometimes some old Dutchies, the way they talk, it is kind of like Shakespeare. You don't quite know what they're trying to tell you, but they're saying something good.
It's rhythmic and poetic, whatever they're saying.
Rhythmic and absolutely, Doctor. Holy moly. Well, anything else you want to? I'm learning a lot here tonight. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. Unbelievable. Not Doctor. So you've told us that you're a playwright. You got your own practice with this large animal proctology stuff going on. Sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm a pretty busy guy, and I just started running too.
Running, like jogging, or like you trying for a marathon or something like that?
It's a little bit of a marathon, I guess you could say.
Well, what? Okay, well, tell me. I'm excited to learn now. Well, let me ask you. Well, so I have friends that run. They do it for some people do it for stress release. Some people do it for the for the exercise. How far do you run, Dr. Schcrapple? Are you one of those like 10 milers or 2 milers or?
Hopefully not too far. Hopefully I'm just running until November.
Till November?
Till November.
What do you mean? Why just till November?
Well, I'm going to be running for president.
Oh, you're running that type of running?
Yeah.
You're running.
I take my hat and throw it in the ring there.
Don't know about now, Dr. Schcrapple. I watch the news all the time, and maybe I shouldn't, but I do. And I haven't seen any advertisements or anything like that for you. All I ever see is for the 2 old guys that are running.
Well, I'm coming in the race a little bit late here, but I'm coming in with some heat.
Heat?
Absolutely. I got some heat behind me.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we're running hot and fast. We're coming in here late to the race. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think it's about time that we have a Pennsylvania Dutch president, and we have slowly built a good following.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we haven't had a Pennsylvania Dutch president since, Eisenhower was one. Obama had a little bit of Pennsylvania Dutch heritage, but Eisenhower had a lot, and that was 60, 70 years ago now. Holy cow.
I think it's time we need another one.
Yeah, what can you bring to that position, do you think?
Well, first of all, if I am elected president, I'm going to put a brand new burnt barrel in everybody's backyard.
A brand new burnt barrel in everybody's backyard? Yeah, well, okay.
We're gonna
Promise number 1.
We're going to bring back the old A-treat bottles.
Oh, the original ones.
The old A-treat bottles, the returnable ones too, so you can return them and get
money back. Yeah. Okay, promise number 2. What else you got on your platform?
Well, I can't lay out all my promises here tonight. I got to save some for the debates in the future here.
Have you been invited to the debates?
I've invited myself.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, given your previous history with working with a lot of rear ends, you would probably fit in pretty well down there in Washington.
You'd be surprised how quickly someone with a large animal proctology doctorate would work well with a bunch of politicians.
I think so. Yeah. Well, I love it. In fact, Dr. Schcrapple, I did a quick search while you were telling me all about this, and look what I found online.
That's right. There's my campaign flag right there.
The Pretzel Party.
We're running under the Pretzel Party.
Oh my gosh.
Brando. That's my brand representative, Brandon Brando. He works with Brandon Brando Branding.
When I saw Brando, my mind went somewhere else. Okay. Can people get these for like their yard signs and stuff?
Well, I think that would be wonderful good if people wanted to display them up and show their support. Because if you ain't voting for Dutch, you ain't voting for much.
That's okay. Yeah. Well, Dr. Schcrapple, I mean, after hearing your pitch, I don't see why. I mean, look at this. Mo Moyer says, "A treat, you got my vote."
Hey,
holy moly. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Schott says, "Sounds like PhD is piled high and deep." Not. No. It's
got to stand for something.
Oh, yama yay. Dr. Schcrapple, that's crazy. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for all this stuff. I'll tell you what, I don't even know where to go from here. What do you have anything else you want to tell us? You got a captive audience.
Don't forget to brush your teeth once a week. That's important. Wash behind your ears.
Yeah. Even though you work mostly with large animals, is there any good tips for humans in regards to the proctology department that we should be doing that we're not?
Well, that's a certain type of Irish right there I don't usually work with.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I know. Yeah, it's a lot smaller probably than what you're used to. I was just curious, and I didn't know. I just thought I'd ask, but whatever. Okay.
Look once, wipe twice.
Look once, wipe twice. That could be part of your campaign slogan too. Maybe you could work that in. You have to work that in the debates if you get into those debates. All right, Dr. Schcrapple. I don't know, man. I think you've laid it all out for us pretty good here tonight. I'm looking forward to voting for you, and good luck with your campaign. And with your practice,
Pretzel Party 2024.
Pretzel Party 2024. Hey, there at the fire company, do you see Adam Kissinger running around anywhere?
Oh, I think he's over there. He's over there bugging the bartender.
All right, why don't you grab that guy and let's see what he has to say tonight too.
All right, let me see if I can get him to come over.
All right, sounds good. Boy, everybody, how about that Dr. Schcrapple, huh? Dr. Schcrapple. He's going to go see if he can find Adam Kissinger. And when he gets back, we'll talk with Adam, because Adam's a big fan of the show and we want to touch base with Adam a little bit. But burn barrel in everybody's yard, large animal proctologist. I don't think it sounds any different from any of these other guys that are running for president, huh? So maybe look for his name on your ballots whenever when you walk into that voting booth someday. Oh, Adam's here. Adam Kissinger. It's so good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Doug, haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, you just happen to be at the same fire company as Dr. Schcrapple. How about that? Or do you always follow? Do you follow that guy around? Are you a groupie?
I keep bumping into him all the time.
You do.
Hard to avoid the smell.
Adam, I always bring all my guests on and ask them this to kind of let my audience know. So, I mean, yes, okay, everybody, if you haven't figured it out, Adam does play the part of Dr. Schcrapple. So, just so we're all clear. But Adam, tell us a little bit. What is your Pennsylvania Dutch connection?
Basically, both sides of my family, I guess. I mean, we grew up steeped in the culture, picking dandelions for Easter.
Did your grandparents speak the language? Any of your grandparents speak it when you were a kid?
I did not. So my maternal grandfather, he would often say clips and phrases, stuff like that. He wouldn't really speak the language a lot around us. I guess pretty stereotypical of my parents' generation. They kind of grew up not learning it so much, and that didn't get passed on to us other than, random catchphrases and things like that.
Right. But you, I mean, you, even though you had that kind of like sort of connection, but this connection, how Dutch do you feel? What's it mean to you to be Pennsylvania Dutch?
That's a great question. It's definitely a key part of my identity. It is something that I feel. It is, it is a heritage that I'm proud of, and something that, even though it's not really as accessible, it's something that I actively seek to continue to participate in and to amplify.
Well, I mean, that's perfect transition for this next question. Then, so this character that you're developing. So, real quick, everybody, Adam, tell us your background. I mean, you have a theater background. Just talk briefly about that, and then we can tell us about this character that you're creating and working on.
Sure. Yeah, I've been a performer for pretty much my life, my entire life. I started dancing when I was a little kid, started doing community theater. I studied theater in college and have been a performer and a stagehand and an educator ever since. And it is, an industry that does not exist the same level all over the place. Usually you go away to participate in this industry. I decided a long time ago I never wanted to do that. I wanted to remain here and try to grow audiences of the people that are in this area, try to tell the stories of the people who are in this area. And one of my favorite little tidbits of being a performer adjacent to the Reading area is that Reading used to be a Broadway preview town. Shows would perform in Reading to see how they would test with the audiences before they would take them to Broadway to gauge if they would succeed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of my biggest passions. Trying to remind audiences how important they are, how important what you do is, the vast difference between seeing anything live versus remotely. When you're seeing any kind of performance or an art installation or anything live, you're affected immediately by the people who are around you. It changes your ability to appreciate things, and it just changes the experience in general. I think that is something culturally that we are missing, just being part of an audience.
Sure. No, I agree with you 100%. And that's one of the things that we haven't really come back from post-pandemic that I know I'd love to see more of. I agree with you. But let's talk real quickly about, this, how you're trying to reconnect or not reconnect, but amplify was the word you use. I like that. With this new character that you're developing, Doctor Schcrapple. So where'd this idea come from? What are your plans with it, etc.?
So I don't really remember when the idea of Doctor Schcrapple started, but for a few years now, I've been participating in a sketch comedy group called Rad Scrapple, and just kind of as it's a little bit of a cultural icon in itself, just Scrapple itself, because
absolutely.
Some people, you either love it or hate it, and people are very passionate on either side of that conversation. In a lot of subcultures seem to gravitate around some kind of food item to represent them in some way. And then also it just kind of came out of a lot of sketch comedy groups also use some kind of food item to latch onto as well. Dr. Schcrapple was kind of a concoction of wanting to create a Pennsylvania Dutch clown character a little bit of a comedic character, and someone who is in the lineage of Professor Schnitzel.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a big influence for this character as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people that were watching tonight, that was probably one of the things that they thought of. I mean, almost every Pennsylvania Dutch person, I shouldn't say almost everybody, but a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch people have this connection to this iconic character of Professor Schnitzel that through the 30s, 40s, 50s was, I mean, he was as famous gets in among the Pennsylvania Dutch. How many people have his records at home, his 45s or cassette tapes? I mean, this guy sold out theaters. He was a constant performer, and this idea, and he wasn't the first. He wasn't the first idea, the first version of these Pennsylvania Dutch clown characters. We've had tons of it. It is part of our lineage. This comedic aspect of our culture, and you know, he died. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. I think it was in the late 60s, early 70s. I think it was in the 60s, though, when Professor Schnitzel died. And, you know, we haven't really had a lot of people pick up that mantle of that iconic character or type of character, which is very rich in our history. When you look at our literature, when you look at our poetry, we have these characters in there that were being written about in the 1800s and through the 1900s. So I'm really glad that you decided to take up that mantle of this idea of the comedic clown, who also has a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, hits close to the bone sometimes in a good way. It makes people think about things, laughing at it while also making them think. And that was one of Schnitzel's greatest. He could really do that well. So what do you see yourself doing with this character in the future? Maybe.
I'd like to be available for booking. You know, I imagine maybe some Grunsaal lodges.
Yeah.
You know, coming out and doing some performing with that. I also have some songs. I have a musical variety element that I add to it.
That's cool. Yeah.
I travel with friends as well, so there's other entertainers that I can bring in. But right now, I'm still generating some material for him. But I think the Doctor Schcrapple character is kind of ready to just go be free and go be a clown, do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. So if people want to learn more about you and potentially maybe book you in the future, how can someone do that? What's the best way to do that?
One of the biggest organizations that I go through currently is the Actors School. So you can check us out at theactorsschool.com. There's a hyphen between each, so the-actors-school.com. You can also check me out on Facebook. I'm very active there. Reach out to me. Feel free to send me a message. Just say hi. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'd love to respond with some brainstorming as well. I really, part of my philosophy as an actor, as a performer, is that performers have the ability to be a little bit of a mirror for their audience, for their culture. And that is something that I think Dr. Schcrapple can lend himself for.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Well, everybody, Adam, like you said, you can check out his stuff at The Actors Studio. Is that right?
The Actors School.
Actor School, sorry. Actor Studio is probably something different. Theactorschool.com. You also teach acting classes, so or at least you have, right? And I don't know if that's something you're still currently doing, Adam, or not.
Yep, I do private individual sessions, and we also do classes and workshops open to the public. I don't have anything to announce right now, but we've got some things in the works that hopefully we're going to announce some class lineups for the rest of the summer soon.
But again, that stuff will be on their website. And like Adam said, he's very active on Facebook as well. So you can find him and like him there and learn more and interact with Adam and reach out. As someone that performs regularly at Groundhog Lodge events, the list of people that they can call upon to do entertainment is getting shorter and shorter. So definitely, Adam, you know, there is a possibility for those types of events in the future, 100%. And since I know a lot of those people, I will definitely pass your information along for sure.
Why, thank you.
Adam, it was great having you on. I loved Dr. Schcrapple. I just like everything about him. I look forward to seeing that performance live sometime instead of through my computer. And I'm sure that that'll happen here sooner rather than later. Like I said, everybody check Adam's stuff out on online, the Actors School, and his personal Facebook stuff. Anything else you want to say before you get out of here, Adam or Dr. Schcrapple?
Just thank you so much, Doug. This has been a very interesting year so far, so I appreciate you having me come onto the show. And
it has,
from myself and everybody here at the Lincoln Park Fire Company, Mox good.
Mox good, Adam. Take care, my friend. Well, dear friends, there you go. Adam sent me a message a little bit before we went live saying, hey, storm went through, lost my electricity. I'm going to head down to the local fire company where I'll be able to access electricity and the internet. And I said, okay, here we go. These things happen, but worked out great. Adam, full disclosure, I've known Adam almost his whole life. We grew up, we went to school together. His older sister, was the same grade as myself. We were very close in high school and elementary. We rode the same school bus together. Adam was on the school bus with me as a little kid. So we've known each other a long time. And I've seen him grow as an actor and as a performer. And this Doctor Schcrapple stuff, the stuff he's doing now is the latest iteration of what he's doing. And it is good stuff. He is constantly conscious about how can we, and I love that word, amplify. I'm going to start using that myself too. How can we amplify our culture, our story to whatever audience wants to hear it, and maybe even to audiences that don't want to hear it, but we're going to do it anyway. And maybe by the end of the show, they'll be in that group of, we want more of this. So everyone, thanks so much, Adam. That was great. Don't forget, you can vote for him and Brando in November, boys and girls. That's coming soon. But not soon enough, in my opinion. I can't get away from all this politics stuff. In any event, a couple other things. Every month we like to highlight something in the Pennsylvania Dutch language. And our poem this month, I went with one of our favorites, Salli Holsbock, really famous Pennsylvania Dutch poet. He wrote a lot of material. Born 1871, died 1939. And since the 4th of July was just last week, he wrote a poem called Viert Tschulei, the 4th of July. I have the Pennsylvania Dutch down the left-hand side, the English down the right. You read whichever side you feel comfortable with. I'm going to read the Pennsylvania Dutch side out loud so you can follow along. Viert Tschulei von dem Salli Holsbock. Uf Viert Tschulei komme blendi Leid, uf alle Weg bei für ein große Zeit. Und es Pulver kracht wie Donner und Blitz und senkte mancher sei Hossesitz. Es ist ein Lärm und Yacht vor das Licht und dadurch die Nacht knallt's noch gedicht. Und die Luft ist voll in schier aller Platz mit der Haut und Woll von the Patriots. Well, there we go. What a great, Sally can't be beat sometimes. He did some great stuff. Let me fix this here. Here we go. Bring this back in. So there you go. A little bit of poetry for you from Salli Holsbock in honor of our big birthday that we just celebrated last week as a country. 248 years, 2 more years, guys. 250. That's going to be the big one. We got to have a big Pennsylvania Dutch party for that one. Every month, I also like to bring some musical selection for you. And this one is hot and fresh. I mentioned that I got to perform at the Kutztown Folk Festival multiple times through the 3 days that I was there. The very first day, Monday, July 1st, Chris and I were scheduled to play an 11 o'clock show. And I got to the folk festival at like 9 o'clock because I wanted to walk around and find some old friends. And that also gave me plenty of time to like get things set up and all that stuff. And at 9:30, I got a text from Chris saying, hey, I'm stuck on I-78 he didn't know if it was construction or an accident. And he says, I haven't moved in a while. And I said, oh, okay. Keep me updated. We still got plenty of time. At that point, we had an hour and a half before we went on stage. So just keep me updated. So then it got to be 10 o'clock and he texted me. He goes, I haven't moved. And that's when I was like, oh boy. I said, well, text me an update at 10:30. So we got to 10:30 and he texted me, he goes, I have moved 1 mile. He goes, I'm nowhere near Kutztown. I'm never going to make it by 11 o'clock. And I said, okay, all right. So I had a half an hour to figure something out. And the gentleman that organizes all the entertainment at the folk festival is a man by the name of Dave Klein, a well-known entertainer in the Berks County area and beyond. And I went up to Dave, and him and I are good friends. I said, hey, Dave, here's the story. Chris Chris isn't going to be able to make this 11 o'clock show. What do you want me to just do it solo? What do you want to do? What do you want me to do? Because he runs the stage. And he said, why don't you and I put something together? Now, this was a half an hour before the show time. And Dave and I have worked together in the past. In fact, we've collaborated on a lot of things. And I said, if you feel comfortable, I'm sure we had a 45-minute show that we had to come up with 45 minutes of material. And he said, no, we'll figure something out. 11 o'clock, we'll all go on. He goes, and we'll bring old Bill Meck. Bill Meck's an old Pennsylvania Dutch auctioneer who is also an entertainer. And he happened to be there at the stage. So we said, Bill, you want to come up and do 45 minutes with us totally on the spot? And he goes, yeah, that'll be fun. So we did. And Dave recorded the whole show, which I'll post on my on the Facebook page, and on I'll paste that link on the Facebook page. But he also recorded parts of it, and I have a video that I want to show you guys that was from that presentation. Let me just share some screen stuff here. And that is the song Hinkel Bot Boi, which I've talked about before, Chicken Pot Pie, that Dave Klein wrote and I did the Pennsylvania Dutch for. So this was a song that we worked on together. I don't think we'd ever actually performed it live together until the Pennsylvania Dutch the Kutztown Folk Festival just last week. So enjoy. And this got a little bit of storytelling too. It's a little bit longer than just the song, but I think you'll enjoy it. You'll hear Dave, you'll hear myself, and you hear Bill Meck, our good friend, having some fun on stage. So here we go, my dear friends. I'm going to pull myself out.
So, friends, one of the best ways to learn any language is to learn it through music. When you were children, they had you sing songs that helped to teach you the English language and maybe some other language. And so we, myself and Doug, a couple years back, decided to do some bilingual songs and make some up so that we could share them with people and give you a sense of what it sounds like in English and what it sounds like in the Pennsylvania Dutch, because really there's not a whole lot of that going on. So we're glad to present that here at the festival. So this is the first one that we're going to present to you that we wrote. Now, I'm going to have the guys discuss it, though, in Dutch and English, if you don't mind. This song is called Chicken Pot Pie. Now, chicken pot pie, the way Pennsylvania Dutch make it, is not at all like those chicken pot pies you get on those frozen trays that have those actually look like a pie. But for some reason, the Pennsylvania Dutch and the chicken pot pie I was raised on from my grandma Klein, that's just dough and chicken broth and chicken and veggies and stuff like that in the pot. There's no pie involved with it at all. You guys want to maybe explain that further?
Well, I know when you get across the Susquehanna and York County and over that way, they say slippy noodles. They like their pot pie with slippy noodles. I don't let mine slip around too long. I slip them down pretty quick. Us out there, all right, we got to ask this question so we know what our crowd is. Raise your hand if you're Pennsylvania Dutch. Look at that, Bill.
Oh, there you go.
Raise your hand if you're not Pennsylvania Dutch. Okay, that's all right. We're working on that till the end of this show. Raise your hand if you want to be Pennsylvania Dutch. That's it. We'll talk to us afterwards. We'll get you the card.
Well, all you have to do is eat some chicken pot pie while you're here.
Yep.
Do a little bit of contra dancing or hoe downing. Maybe sing a song.
We're gonna
have. What else do they need?
We'll teach them a couple words today that they can take with them.
Right.
In the
Learn
dialect.
some language. Eat some Scrapple. Have a sausage.
So one word you're going to hear in this song a lot is the word for chicken.
What is the word for chicken? Must tell them. I know.
Hinkel. So you're going to hear the word Hinkel, and you're going to hear the word Bot Boi, which is pot pie in Pennsylvania Dutch. So if you learn nothing else today, you can take that home with you. Hinkel Bot Boi.
So this is a song Doug and I wrote. We submitted it for a Grammy, but we never heard back from them. Chicken pot pie, everybody loves that chicken pot pie. Eggs in the flour, roll out the dough, cut them into squares, don't you know? Now he'll sing it in Dutch.
A Hinkel Bot Boi, alle even lieve Hinkel Bot Boi. Oh ja, in de mail, manchmal in day, in für Eckschneider, das ist der Weg.
Chicken pot pie, everybody loves that chicken pot pie. Boil the chicken good and pick off the meat, put it in the pot, it's such a treat.
A Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, alle er lieber Hinkel Bot Boi. Koch es Hinkel gut, pick mal das Fleisch, du es in die Hafer so frei.
I'm getting hungry though.
You know, some people eat this with squirrel.
I know. Oh, I'll tell that story.
Okay.
Chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie. Everybody loves that chicken pot pie. Meat with the dough squares in the boiling pot. Throw in some taters with the chicken stock.
A Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, alle er lieber Hinkel Bot Boi. In the case, ich und du, Fleisch mit den Nudeln probieren dazu.
Chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie. Everybody loves that chicken pot pie. A little bit of silver, pinch of salt and pepper too. Gonna be good eating for me and you.
A Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, alle er lieber Hinkel Bot Boi. Leben celery, pepper and salt, river is for over precipice out.
Chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie. Everybody loves that chicken pot pie. Boil her up high, then let her simmer down. Serve it in the soup for everybody gather round.
Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, alle er lieber Hinkel Bot Boi. Lass es mal kochen, en Stunde oder zwei, alle er kommen, da kommen wir mit.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the rest of this story now. Just vamp on the D there for me, buddy. So my Pennsylvania Dutch grandfather had an old double-barrel hammerlock shotgun. He'd go out hunting in the woods with his old hammer dog. Whenever he'd come home with, that's what made it into the chicken pot pie pot. But when I was a little boy, I didn't know that because my grandmother just said, "We're having chicken pot pie tonight." Sometimes the meat looked white, like a chicken. Other times it was kind of gray. But I didn't know better, so I ate it.
It had a nutty flavor to it.
It had a nutty flavor, yeah, that's what it had. So sometimes I find out later that he was fond of hunting squirrels. And other times, when times were really rough, he'd go out and get a rabbit. So I know we had squirrel pot pie and rabbit pot pie. But the one that takes the prize is the one where he'd go and do some of his farmer friends a favor. And he'd go out and shoot the old Grunsow. Now, what is a Grunsow?
Dave, what's a Bill? Dave, what's a Grunsow?
A Grunsow is a groundhog.
Old groundhog. Yes, so indeed, ladies and gentlemen, you are really not Pennsylvania Dutch unless you've ever had Grunsow pot pie. Yum.
Yeah.
Chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie. Everybody loves that chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie. Everybody loves that chicken pot pie.
A Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, alle er lieber Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, Hinkel Bot Boi, alle er lieber Hinkel Bot
Thank you.
What was good to do?
Now, could you ever imagine growing up, Bill, that someone someday would sing a song about chicken pot pie?
You never know.
You never know. That's right.
You never know.
Well, there you go, people. How about that? How about that? It was fun. We had a great time. We made 45 minutes up on the spot, and we really enjoyed it. We really did. So that was impromptu show. We sang a couple other songs, told some jokes. Bill told a couple things in Pennsylvania Dutch, and then I would translate them into English for the crowd. We had a really good time. So it wasn't planned, but it ended up being A-OK. Hey, some people joined the live stream a little late, and I wanted to give them a quick shout out. Oh, where was that? Derek says, "Hallo von Win Gap wie bist." Derek, ich bin gut. Glebe nicht Hayes. Aber ich bin gut. Ich bin gut. Wie bist du? Hopefully you're doing well as well. So, you saw in that video, I had one of our shirts on, our Dunavera shirt. And actually, when I was walking around the folk festival, I saw two other people with the same shirt on, and we both kind of like high-fived each other and said, that's great. And if you'd like to get your own Pennsylvania Dutch themed shirts, sweatshirts, merchandise, because you can get magnets, you can get stickers, you can get hoodies, check out our shop. Here are two designs that we have currently right now that are available. The one on the left is an Elbedritch, and then the one on the right, of course, the word Schnickelfritz. Maybe you grew up being called a Schnickelfritz by your grandparents or by your parents, and you can change the color of the shirts. That's all available on our website. Here's some more examples of people wearing our merchandise. But as I said, you can get magnets, you can get stickers, you can get them in the form of a shirt if you want. But there are lots of things. And if you'd like to get your own stuff, they make great gifts or just a great way for you to amplify your Pennsylvania Dutchiness, right? Check out the website, zazzle.com/PA Dutch stuff. And like I said, there's tons of stuff on there. Rachel Yoder and I have designed all this stuff. She did the design work. I usually did the linguistic aspect of it. And, you know, we're not doing it to make money. We're doing it to get the products out there so people can, I mean, everybody that I've seen that has had our stuff just loved it. And they always say, we get so many comments when I wear this shirt, or I get lots of comments because I got this magnet on my fridge in the kitchen. People always come over and they're like, what's that? And I get to tell them about Pennsylvania Dutch stuff. So that's really cool. So you can get all your own at zazzle.com/PA Dutch stuff. Joe is joining us. Gouda Obit from Missoula, Montana. Holy moly, that's a long way away. Hopefully it's a little cooler out there, Joe, than it is here. But I don't know. It seems like all of the United States is pretty hot right now. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to financially support us here at the channel, you have two options or two ways of doing that. And then you don't have to, of course, but I like to offer people this. They like to be part of a community. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Doug Badenford. You can check that out when you see the link. You'll see when you check out the website, you'll see what you can do there. Our coffee is $5. But you can also become a monthly contributor and a monthly patron for as little as a $1 a month on our Patreon website. Just go to patreon.com/PA Dutch 101. No pressure. Money raised always goes towards the upkeep of the channel and puts gas in the Subaru so I can get to shows and the folk festival and things like that. There are some people I would like to give a personal shout out to who have supported us financially in the past. Dave Smith, Alan Moyer, Seth Moak, Norman Jung, Brigitte Weinsteiger, Scott Vanek, Glenn Ritter, David Hunsiger, Dolly Moyer, Gary Johansson, Gail Spilsbury, Bill Nason, Asami Hirose. That last one, I just helped him translate some stuff. I got to tell this quick story. He reached out to me. I don't know the gentleman, but he reached out to me saying, I'm an author and I need a couple of things translated into Pennsylvania Dutch. And I said, oh, okay. I get these kinds of emails a lot. I said, just out of curiosity, what kind of stuff are you writing? He goes, oh, I write Amish themed fiction in Japan. And it's like, okay. And I asked him, I wrote back and I said, so is there an audience in Japan for Amish themed fiction? He said, there is, and it's growing. And he wanted to have some authentic Pennsylvania Dutch phrases in his next draft. And I said, that's awesome. And he didn't ask for much, just a couple sentences. And I sent the translations to him. And then he sent a very generous donation and said he'll probably be becoming big fans of our stuff here because it's going to help him get more fans in Japan. What a crazy story is that? Did you ever think you'd hear something like that? I never did, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hey, we're getting to the end of the show, but mark your calendars because next month, the month of August, we got a great show planned. On August 14th, that's a Wednesday at 6 p.m., we are going to have Tom Stokes on the show. Tom Stokes is very active in the Ole Valley, particularly with Pennsylvania Dutch things. And he's going to do a presentation on the Ole Valley. Now, for those of you not from Berks County, you might not be familiar with the Ole Valley. There's the town of Ole in Pennsylvania. There's Ole Valley School District. And in any event, Ole has a very important place in the Pennsylvania Dutch story. The Ole Valley was one of the first areas settled in Berks County by the Pennsylvania Dutch. Famous people like Mountain Mary lived in the Ole Valley. My paternal grandmother's family, the Hoeks, were one of the first families to settle the Ole Valley. So my ancestral roots run very deep in the Ole Valley. It's some of the most beautiful farmland in the United States. I will say it. And the geography there, the rolling hills, absolutely beautiful. These 1700s era stone houses with farms, gorgeous. It's a perfect place for a Sunday afternoon drive to go get ice cream through the Ole Valley. But we're going to learn the story of the Ole Valley and some of the history from that that region next month on the 14th of August. So please mark your calendars. And then we'll be back in September. We got a lot of shows lined up already. I have some amazing guests lined up. I'm going to spill the beans. Our October guest is going to be Candace Perry. She's been on before. She's done presentations on the Schwenkfelders, and I had her on this spring talking about Pennsylvania Dutch theater. You remember that episode? It was just a couple months ago. She has another presentation that she was dying to do, and she says, can I please come back on the show? And Candace is great. I said, absolutely. So she's going to be our guest in October. And then, drum roll, please, November. I'm going to say this now so people can get excited. In November, I have Dr. Mark Loudon booked as our guest. Now, that name might not say anything to some of you, but Dr. Mark Loudon is, in my opinion, the foremost expert right now living in the probably in the world, living expert on the Pennsylvania Dutch language. He wrote the book, and we'll talk about that, Pennsylvania Dutch, The Story of an American Language. It is the go-to book that tells the story of our language. I am so excited to have him on as a guest. You will be blown away at what this man knows and how he can convey the story of our language, where it comes from, how it developed, what it is today. He's done the work. He's a professor of German at the University of Wisconsin. Like I said, he is the go-to man. I respect him so highly, and I'm so happy that he said he'll come on the show. So that's November. It's going to be a great show. We got some time in between then. But anyway, August 14th, Tom Stokes, all about the Ole Valley. I hope you decide. I hope you can join us that night. But don't forget, if you miss Pennsylvania Dutch Live, when we go live, every episode is archived on the YouTube channel. When you go on my channel, one of the tabs says live, I think, or live shows. And if you click on that, a playlist of every show we've ever done is right there. And then there's playlists for all the other things that we do. Our Pennsylvania Dutch Word of the Week that comes out every Friday. We have a playlist for that. Your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute, which is these cultural videos that I put out. So there's tons of stuff there on the YouTube channel. Of course, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Catch that stuff if you can. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. But until next month, dear friends, it has been an absolute pleasure being with you guys again. I hope that you have a great rest of your July. I hope wherever you live, it's going to cool off at some point, and it's not this hot, humid that we've been having forever. Like Carol said earlier tonight, hey, son schmody, I'm done with it. I'm ready for fall. The older I get, the older I get, the less and less I enjoy summer heat. There, I said it. I'm not that old, but well, maybe some people would argue that. But in any event, it is always a pleasure, and it brings me such joy that you take time out of your busy lives to spend it with me and my guests from month to month. I love you people. Ich lieb euch. Ich lieb euch. I really do. Keep coming back for great Pennsylvania Dutch quality content. Catch one of these things that I advertise, like the Goshenhoppen Folk Festival, or check me out at the Exeter Community Library in August. And of course, follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff on Instagram, on Facebook. Just look for PA Dutch 101. I will continue to say that it's the best place to get Pennsylvania Dutch themed content on the social media web. Until next month, dear friends, I hope you all stay well. Have a good summer. Go eat yourselves full at some picnic and enjoy all that good stuff, you know. And as we always say, till next month, dear friends, Mach's gut. Mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir für now. Unsere Zeit ist all und so es ist, mach's gut für now. Hoff wieder mit dir zu sein. Hoff du bringst zurück ein Freund. Mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir für now. Unsere Zeit ist all und so es ist, mach's gut für now. Hoff wieder mit dir zu sein. Hoff du bringst zurück ein Freund. Und so mach's gut, lieber Freund, mach's gut.